Prince Andrew never really leaves the news, but there's been a sort of tsunami of coverage over the last couple of weeks, and this is largely due to leaked emails that have come, I think, from Ghislaine Maxwell.
Why do you believe Ghislaine Maxwell is leaking these emails?
We are diving deeper into the Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor story today, as leaked emails have surfaced, raising serious questions about his behaviour, his ties to disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, and the palace's response behind closed doors. 60 Minutes Australia sat down with royal author Andrew Lownie, and the claims he makes paint a far more troubling picture than the version Andrew has presented to the public for years. In this video, you will hear what the emails reveal, why Lownie believes Ghislaine Maxwell may be behind the leak, what Andrew allegedly admitted in private messages, and how these revelations could reshape the wider scandal. If you want a clear breakdown of what has emerged and what it means going forward, stay with me. Subscribe and turn on notifications, and tell me your thoughts in the comments. I read them all. According to Lownie, the renewed attention on Andrew comes from leaked emails that appear to contradict Andrew's long-standing public claims. He says these emails did not come from journalists, the palace, or investigators. Instead, he believes they came from Ghislaine Maxwell herself. Lownie suggests that Maxwell may be acting out of self-interest. With her future uncertain and her prospects limited, she may be searching for any route that improves her own position. That could mean hoping for leniency, trying to gain favour with powerful allies, or simply attempting to reshape her public image. In that context, creating distance between herself and Andrew becomes useful. Their long association does not protect him now. If releasing information harms Andrew yet strengthens her standing, Lownie believes she will not hesitate. There have been claims that Ghislaine and Andrew were once intimately involved, but according to Lownie, that history counts for very little in the situation she now finds herself in. Loyalty is not part of her calculation. If leaking details, emails, or private exchanges helps her secure a better outcome for herself, she is fully capable of doing so. In Lownie's view, Maxwell's priority is survival, and if Andrew becomes collateral damage in that process, she is unlikely to lose any sleep over it. According to Lownie, by keeping the focus on Andrew, others are shielded from review.
You also believe that Andrew lied about when he first met Epstein and about his December 2010 meeting 2 years after Epstein had pled guilty in a Florida court to soliciting prostitution from a minor.
His line was that he met Epstein in 1999. Well, he was going off to the island literally in February 2000.
The emails contain points that directly contradict Andrew's public denials. For years, he insisted he never met Virginia Giuffre.
I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady. None whatsoever.
You don't remember meeting her?
No.
She says she met you in 2001.
He claimed the photograph was fake. He claimed he had no memory of her at all. But Lownie says the leaked messages show Andrew knew exactly who she was. He was aware a photograph might emerge. He was concerned about it. Lownie has said for some time that the evidence of their meeting was overwhelming. Witnesses, flight logs, travel records, independent accounts that all lined up. But these emails add Andrew's own words into the mix, which is far more difficult for the palace to dismiss. The most shocking detail is the claim that Andrew selected Virginia from a set of photographs Maxwell had sent him. It paints a grim and entitled picture, and it points to the long-running suggestion that young girls were being presented to men for selection. Lownie believes that Andrew could face real legal exposure if the authorities acted. He mentions potential offences relating to data protection, misconduct in public office, and of course the wider issue of trafficking, given Virginia's age at the time.
I admit fully that my judgment was probably coloured by my tendency to be too honourable, but that's just the way it is.
He also raises Andrew's financial activity while serving as a UK trade representative. According to Lownie, Andrew mixed his public duties with private business interests, helping contacts secure deals while cultivating his own profits. There has been a long pattern of delaying, burying, and refusing to engage, but the public is no longer buying the silence. Lownie says we are at a tipping point, where patience has run out, and trust in the palace's judgment is weakening. He does not place the blame solely on Andrew. He points to the palace machinery that shielded him for decades: legal teams, press secretaries, advisors, and even the Queen herself, who continued to grant him honours after each fresh embarrassment. The wider public is beginning to question not only Andrew, but the systems that protected him. Editors now write openly about the monarchy facing reputational damage. Commentators talk about corrosion rather than stability. Lowney does not claim the monarchy will collapse, but he does say that trust is slipping, and unless there is transparency and decisive action, the institution will feel the consequences. Lowney suggests Charles made a promise to their mother to keep an eye on Andrew, but that the patience of the working royals has worn thin. Staff do not trust him. Senior family members do not want to be associated with him, and courtiers are unwilling to put their careers at risk by shielding him further. Sarah Ferguson appears again in this story, and not in a flattering light. Lowney describes her as diminished, financially unstable, and deeply entangled in Epstein's network. He believes she owed Epstein far more than the small sum she once admitted. His estimate is around $2 million. For years, Sarah has been portrayed as a harmless, slightly eccentric figure, but Lowney challenges that image. He says her finances, contacts, and repeated reinventions raise serious concerns. And then the question on everyone's mind. Why has she stayed with Andrew? Are they protecting each other? Do they share secrets? Or have they simply become two people tied by mutual risk? Some reports claim they are now keeping more distance. Others suggest they are still together at Royal Lodge. Their relationship remains as strange and complicated as ever.
I mean, it was very obvious that he was lying. I mean, he has a long history of lying, and he's got away with it in the past.
Epstein is said to have called Andrew the King of Kink. Staff at Epstein's New York mansion recalled a special suite kept for Andrew because he visited so often. Flight records appear to contradict the official royal diary, suggesting the palace knowingly reported Andrew as being in the UK while he was abroad with Epstein. Then there's the email from 2011. Andrew writes to Epstein saying, "We are in this together. Stay in touch and we will play again soon." 4 exclamation marks. In the context of Epstein's world, that message is unsettling. Lowney says these men believed they were untouchable, protected by money, influence, lawyers, and police connections. They did not expect their messages to ever see daylight. Virginia Giuffre faced years of attacks, accusations, attempts to discredit her, pressure from Andrew's supporters. Lowney says that despite these assaults, Virginia's account consistently held up. And now that more evidence has come to light, the public is finally recognizing that. Her bravery, her testimony, and her willingness to speak out have shaped the entire investigation. Without her, much of the truth would still be hidden. One of the most surprising claims is Lowney's belief that Andrew may attempt to leave Britain if he ever feels charges might be coming. He mentions a palace in Abu Dhabi reportedly offered to Andrew, along with protection networks across the Middle East. Thailand is mentioned as another favourite destination from his past. A former staff member told Lowney something revealing. Andrew is not upset about the scandal itself. He is upset that he can no longer appear on the palace balcony or wear his ceremonial robes. His identity is wrapped up entirely in being a prince. No accountability, no remorse, just the loss of status. Lowney calls him an intellectual zombie, someone so accustomed to lying that he struggles to recognise truth even when speaking it himself. Andrew's behaviour has been consistent for decades, and very few of the allegations have been flattering. His reputation for arrogance and indulgence goes right back to his childhood, when teachers described him as loud, entitled, and dismissive of authority. That pattern only intensified in adulthood. People who spent time with him describe a familiar theme. His humour often veered into the crude, his pranks went far beyond playful mischief, and his behaviour at gatherings frequently left others embarrassed or singled out. Staff members, officials, and social acquaintances recall the same atmosphere around him, one marked by mockery and a need to dominate.
Well, you reveal in your book that Andrew actually chose Virginia from a series of photos that Ghislaine Maxwell had sent him.
Yes, from 2 different sources. People have seen basically this book of photographs that would be circulated, and people would choose who they wanted to meet.
Viewed together, these recollections point to something more ingrained. What we see from Andrew today is not a recent change or an unexpected downfall. It mirrors attitudes and habits that those close to him recognised long before the wider public became aware of them. So where does this leave the Andrew story? According to some, this is only the beginning. More emails are expected, more witnesses may come forward, and each new revelation pulls the palace further away from its old ability to bury the truth. If the palace hopes to protect its future, it must confront its past. Without transparency, the damage will only deepen. For daily updates on Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, Sarah Ferguson, and the royal family, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching.